Hi, welcome to Pulse of the Week on NSG News, your trusted space for insightful and intellectual discourse. Welcome to our broadcast. My name is Kofi Asante Mensah. And together, we would unpack the event, providing clarity, context, and thought-provoking perspectives to the stories that occasioned within this week in the Republic of Ghana. This week has been one of both solemn reflection and intense political activity as the nation navigates movements and moments of grief, governance, and the ever-passing and ever-present fight for environmental preservation. Once again, my name is Kofi Asante Mensah. Today on our lineup for discussion on Pulse of the Week, we would begin with a state funeral. We begin with the state funeral and burial for the victims of the tragic helicopter crash, and also reflects on the sad announcement by the Asantehene of the passing of the Asantehema Nana Konadu Yadom III. We also have in session this evening on our political desk the new patriotic party flagbearer-ship race. The political front is heating up, especially with the new patriotic party, where Dr. Mahmudu Bawumia, also Yao Duchum, Ken Japan, and Brian Champon have all gone to pick nomination forms to contend or to contest for the flag bearership race early next year, 2026. We turn our attention to the electoral battleground in Etiwa. What's at stake and how might it help shape the broader political landscape of our country? We'll be taking a critical look at that. We understand also that Election Watch Ghana, they have written a petition to the Electoral Commission of the Republic of Ghana pleading or requesting for some postponement of the September 2nd by-election at Etiwa constituency. Finally, we revisit the fight against illegal mining. How far have we come? And we are learning from Amansie in the Ashanti region, some confrontation with residents and galamseyers of Amansie and the IGP's special team to battle against galamsey. There were some gunshots over there. We would dig deeper into it and have insight into all these stories for you. And we have a special Zoom session with Dr. Joyce Manyo, who is a political marketing strategist or expert. She also teaches at the University of Media, Communication, and Arts. And we will have a session with her. So please stay right there with me. Truly, my name is Kofi Asante Mensah, and you're welcome. This is Pulse of the Week. Just after this breather, we'll begin. Hi, and welcome back. Let's switch attention to the very political stories we have for you. I'll come back to the solemn and funeral and burial of the 8 victims of our country. We call them heroes. And I've been crying since morning. It was a black Wednesday on the 6th of August, and we were here to share with you the breaking news by then. And today, we are here to talk to you about their funeral. So in a bit, I'll be telling you more about what really transpired at the funeral and the burial. The testimonies are shared, tributes are shared, biographies are shared, statements as made by state officials, including the President of the Republic, who has posthumously given some titles to the military officers and flight officers in that unfortunate helicopter. But let's begin with the new patriotic party. I tell you, the political front is really heating up. And we saw, I think last week, when Kennedy Akompre Japan picked up his nomination form, and his special aide announced it on Facebook for the world to know that Kennedy Ejapon has picked up forms to contest for the flag-bearer-ship of the New Patriotic Party. We came here to announce to you, and we showed you some video. I think my producer will be kind enough to show some few videos of the man we are talking about, Kennedy Akompreko Ejapon. So you would appreciate and know him much better. This is about 2 years ago, because this very recent one, they went on a solemn mode, on a quiet time. It was just announced on Facebook. So this is just for you to know the man we are talking about. And pretty shortly, his face would come. He is apparently the very first person to pick his nomination forms. So that's the man, Kennedy Akompreko Ejapon. And when our political marketing executive comes on the line, we'll be finding out who is best placed to win this slot, or who is politically well marketed. So let's hear a little bit of what Ken said.
To move this country forward, we need to make sure that we create job opportunities, especially for the youth. How are we going to do that? Going round, so far I've visited 180 constituencies. And I've come to realize that we as politicians have done a disservice to the nation. With the arable lands, rivers, sea that God has given to us, we are endowed with so many minerals, a lot of opportunities in this country. Now, everywhere you go, especially water region, the resources there are untapped. And I want Ghanaians to give me opportunity and challenge me that I will make sure I turn the fortunes of this country around. I don't believe in theory. I'm a pragmatic person. I believe in practical things. What I saw in Water region, what I saw in Afram Plains area and Northern region, believe me, that we can change this country. We have arable lands in Water region. They have advantage. I'm surprised that they have always voted for NDC and they don't do anything. Because the proximity of Water region to the seaport, to the airport, gives them advantage over every region in this country. I visited there and I saw Mount Alfajatro, the caves, the water bodies like Poti River, Lake Water, the sea itself, and the arable land so flat that we can cultivate millions of acres and come up with agro-processing industries. I think this is the way to go. Unfortunately, we believe that gold is the ultimate. I think otherwise. I personally believe that cassava is more important than gold. Cassava is a necessity and gold is a luxury.
All right, so that's quite a piece from Kennedy Akompreko Ejapon. I must say, this is not the most very recent one. This is about 2 years ago, before the 2024 general election. But these are things he believed in, because I wrote here, job for the youth. He's a pragmatic person. He loves practicality, and quite unfortunate, we have a lot of resources, especially in the Volta region. He mentioned Volta region directly, that we have resources untapped, and he is ready to lead the way. So they should consider him. The next person I would love to talk about is the former vice president and the former flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party, Dr. Mahmudu Bawumia, and over 400 youth organizers of the New Patriotic Party, NPP, arrived at the party's headquarters to pick up nomination form for Alhaji Dr. Mahmudu Bawumia, and they addressed the press, and they were so much enthused and very happy. They said they contributed the 100,000. You know, the form is 100,000, and when you are filing fee is 500,000. So together, that's 600,000. So the youth picked the 100,000 forms for Dr. Bawumia and presented it to him, and he made some few statements. And kind courtesy of Joy News, we have this video to show you. Please stay with us.
Vice President to seek for his indulgence, grant his permission to go and pick these forms for him. He granted us that opportunity, and we decided that today is the day that we are to pick the form for him. We're supposed to be 552 youth organizers across the country. 490 youth organizers and their deputies has agreed to join this enviable train. So the 490 of us mobilize the little that we have to take this form for His Excellency. In fact, this opportunity, we are extremely grateful with this opportunity. We know the youth organizers are going to be part of the success of this journey. And we know and pray and hope in 4 years' time or 3.5 years' time, we will not even get much closer to you, but you will be the president of this country. Grateful that you have given us this opportunity to pick this form for you, and we are going to do our optimum best to make sure that you have over 70% of the total vote. We are extremely grateful. Thank you very much. You see, our agenda is not just for you to become the flag bearer, unless we want you to use your vision, your rich idea, govern this country as a sole decision maker, so that we will see the transformation that we want in this country. We are extremely grateful, His Excellency, this year for this opportunity.
490 out of 552 came to me and requested, the leadership came and requested that they wanted to put their widow's mind together and take my forms for me. I agreed, because that was a remarkable vote of confidence in me. And this morning, they have fulfilled that promise they made, and they have picked the forms from the headquarters and have delivered the forms to me today. The youth are a major asset for our party. They represent the future, and they are an asset not only for the party but for the nation. And I want to thank them for this major vote of confidence. I want to say that I am minded to contest for the flagbearer-ship. I will make a full declaration in that regard when I go on to submit the forms that you have handed over to me this morning. But let us say that I want this flagbearer-ship election to be conducted with decorum. We are not in a campaign of insults, and we should not be in a campaign of insults. It should be about ideas, and that is what will capture the imagination of Ghanaians. What ideas do we have? What are we bringing to the table? How are we going to solve problems that Ghanaians face? As a party, I admonish everybody, all the aspirants and our supporters, that let us focus on marketing or selling our respective candidates. When we bring down other people, we are bringing down the NPP. Our messages will be taken by our opponents and used against us. I will not, and you will never hear me insulting any candidate. And so, because when this election is over, we have to contest a general election. And if we divide ourselves today, we will have a difficulty in uniting for a general election tomorrow. So let us begin the process with unity and end with unity, because that will bring victory in all of you. I want to thank all the youth in this party who have picked these forms for me. You will see that I'm going to come to the table with many ideas for the youth, for the future of this country. A lot of the ideas that I'm coming with are youth-centered ideas. What will happen to the youth and how we can create jobs and so on, and increase opportunities. So I am assuring you that all the efforts that you have put together today to bring the forms to me will not be in vain. We will make sure I reciprocate with ideas and work that will benefit you. Thank you all. God bless you.
All right, so you heard Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia. Earlier on, you heard one of the executives of the New Patriotic Party, who happens to be the youth organizer for one of the constituencies. And he claimed and mentioned clearly that they have 552 youth organizers across board. But out of the 552, some 400 of them have come together to do Saraka, Fakakrabra, for them to get something to go and pick that 100,000 Ghana cedis form for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. They just didn't pick that form for him to win the flagbearer-ship race with over 70%. They want him, Dr. Bawumia, to go ahead and win in 3 years or 4 years, win the presidency of this republic and become the president of the Republic of Ghana, so he can implement most of his ideas, which they believe is good for this very country. Dr. Bawumia also responded, thanked them, and appreciated the gesture, and spoke to them about why there shouldn't be any insults going into this very primary. So remember, this election will take place next year, 31st of January. So 31st of January 2026, the NPP flagbearer-ship race would be up. So Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia cautioned against politics of insult, internal politics. Why should you insult? He says there should be ultimum decorum. There should be decorum in our conversations, because if you insult and your opponent pick up those insults and those downtrodden messages from you, they will use it against you, and they have done it before. So he was cautioning them about it. It should be a campaign of ideas. So he urged supporters and aspirants to sell their candidates, especially the supporters. Sometimes you may not hear the aspirants themselves insulting, but supporters be on television and radio insulting each other. So it's not good. and they should concentrate on selling their candidates. There's no room for division. There should be unity. It's just one elephant. We just want the flag to lead the party, and there should be no division. That's very, very good. But the camp of the Ken Ejapon, Connect Now, Connect Now, that's the camp for Ken Ejapon. They have refuted most of these things, and they say it's a charade. They just paraded themselves, the cosmetics of these youth organizers to go and clamor themselves, to go and buy form for, it's just a charade. The people on the ground want Kennedy Japan, and they have refuted so many claims of Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia. Let's move on to the camp of the former Minister of Education, Dr. Yao Osei Educhum. Yesterday, he went to formally pick up his nomination forms and indicating that he would be contesting the 2026 New Patriotic Party flag-bearer-ship contest. And he went. Dr. Educhum, who served under former President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo as Education Minister, is seeking to lead the party into the 2028 general elections. His bid adds to the growing list of contenders vying to succeed the current leadership. So he's also the Bosomtwe Member of Parliament, and he introduced so many staffs into the education sector when he became Education Minister. The very important one that comes to mind readily is the science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, the STEM project. He did quite a lot of stuff with that. Now, they tell us it's all about education. If you want to develop a country, you have to concentrate and focus on the country's education. And with the pride he holds, becoming the second person to lead the free SHS and the STEM schools and all of that, he will be the right person for the delegates of the New Patriotic Party to vote for him to win the flag-bearership race. I think we can have a look at who Dr. Educhum is and what he said as he picked the forms.
Forms. Dr. Educhum Dr. Educhum aboa minimum nuanom bebe. Wohwe ade a waye no Bosomtwe constituency. Waye ama minimum nuanom a yase da de yentime de be enka. Nti enam saa ye nso na mehu ni se ye mane bedi omampani wo Ghana ha obetimi ayede anam so aboa youth. They say youth no ene Ghana ye daachi Ghana ye momono no. Nti Mijidi se Dr. Osei Educhum se MPP eyi ne se ondi party n'anima ebeboaye ama yetimi aba back to power. Wohwe nioma waye education ministry STEM schools a osie nioma wo ye ya believe say was to us and I said in Numapano and minister Biana Ubia or prioritize education and addition be a minister or Dachi Papa Emma my a minimum my treasure ya pick forms on behalf of a year Dr. Osei Educhum because he said on a bit me aboa MPP SRD on power. A school 2021 Okukuari school. Na ni da so ni baby akra me fi atobiase emoa ebede afi baby a de abo na me hu Dr. Osei Educhum da me fa me ni kusua se de be hu da but enam ne so amasisi you can university level 400 September ya me school ni nyina ye Dr. Osei Educhum ni nnuanu bebre ebi wo UMAT ebi wo UDS can university class so yes I de be doso you say ni pawe no ye boa no ma ni bidi o man ni ma or ne pa bebre e de man ma bi
Second, welcome you today. In humility, I wish to from you the purpose of the visits, and then we proceed.
Okay. Today we came here to officially pick the forms for Honorable Dr. Yao.
Wow, Mumbo Educhum Ose. I say Abemwe Educhum Bosheno Abemwe. Wow. All right, so that's quite interesting. So you watched the video of Dr. Yao Osei Educhum, former education minister, who picked up his form, I think, yesterday. But earlier this week, I think around on Tuesday or Monday, a group of young party executives also picked up form on behalf of Dr. Brian Achiampong for the New Patriotic Party flagbearer-ship race. So almost 4 or 5 people, I think I can count. We have Dr. Baumia, Kennedy Japon, Dr. Educhum, Dr. Brian Achiampong. I think we have 4 people ready to contest. I'm not sure nominations have closed yet, so we could welcome some more people. But on my Zoom this evening, production, you can still show Dr. Brian, that Dr. Brian on your screen. It will be coming pretty shortly for you to see the man we are talking about, Dr. Brian Achiampong, former Agric minister, who has also picked up his form. I would want to go to Dr. I must say, Dr. Joyce Manyo, who is a lecturer at UNIMAC and also a political marketing expert, to more or less educate us on these very nominations. We have seen about 4 people picked up nomination already to contest Dr. Baumia. Ken is there, Brian is there, Yao Educhum is there, and I think in the exception of Ken, all the other 2 are all appointees or former appointees of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, which had Dr. Baumia as vice president. So let's talk about it. Doc, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
I hope you are doing well, please.
Yes, I'm very fine, and I hope you are doing the same.
I'm good, Doc. Thanks for asking. Now, let's dig into it. The first bit I would want to pick from you is even the nomination from the cost of it and the filing fee, the cost of it. When last week we heard about it, we were quite devastated about it. 100,000 for the form and 500,000 for the filing fee. Please, what do you make of this?
Well, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity. But when you look at the fees, I think it's really on the high side. And there are party members that have come to talk about it. The point is that we find ourselves in a democratic society. And so when elections or when there's an opportunity for elections, you would want to ensure that a number of people that are qualified, that are competent, have the opportunity to contest. And so when the cost is very high, chances are that people are competent, but they wouldn't be able to contest because they might not be able to meet that financial obligation. And if you could recall, issue of money and politics has been quite topical, and one would expect that given that discussion, the new patriotic party would have been a bit, would have considered that and reflect on how much they were charging their members and those that are interested in contesting. But well, it is their party. They lost miserably, and they also would need to mobilize funds to ensure that that election is successful. They have a flag bearer and put all the necessary measures in place to prepare for 2028. So, well, from a political marketing perspective, we may want to look at accessibility, a number of people having access to the platform, a number of people that are qualified and competent being able to contest, giving the MPP's political market opportunity to select the best. But if they think that this is how much they should charge at this point in time, well, it's their party, and we leave that to them.
Thank you very much, Doug. And let me go ahead. Of course, I didn't like the fee aspect at 100,000 because I think some 10 years back when NDC had their fee pegged at 420,000, we all spoke about it. We condemned it that it was too astronomical and it was too high. And just getting into some 8 or 7 years or so, quite don't remember the dates, but MPP doing almost the same thing is quite not good. So I think you've said it very well. Now let's get into it. I forgot, Kwabena Ejepon is also part of the aspirants. I think he actually declared his intention and he is more than ready to pick his nomination form. I do not know if he has picked already. I don't have any news to that. But those who have picked Dr. Baumia, Dr. Yao Osei, Duchum, Brian Champon, and those are the four, and Kennedy Ejepon. So Kwabena Ejepon, he has shown interest. I'm not sure he has picked his nomination form yet. But Dr. Manyo, please help me. Who is best placed to lead the new patriotic party as they want to rebrand themselves politically and institutionally ahead of the 2028 election?
Okay, I think that is a very difficult question. And I say it's difficult because if you ask who is best placed, then it seems like I know each and every one of them, and I know really what the MPP's political market will do in terms of voting for. But this is it. MPP at the moment has a problem with its brand equity. And in political marketing, brand equity means the overall value of the brand to the political market. Given the massive loss in the 2024 election, you could tell that the MPP doesn't look too good in the eyes of the general political market. And after the election, things that have happened has also suggested that it's not getting better. So the MPP's political market, or those that are going to elect their flag bearer, must know and understand that they need a candidate that will compete effectively with NDC's presidential candidate or flag bearer heading into 2028. All these people that are paid nomination, well, might be qualified and competent, but the question is that which of them stands out, and who will be able to convince the political market given the experience of the general populace under the MPP's government. This is what they need to think about. They need to reflect, and in political marketing, we have what we call political review and reflection. Each and every member must be really truthful to themselves, reflect and review what happened under the leadership of the MPP, and Ghanaians respond to their leadership in 2024, and that should inform who they choose to lead them. Like I said, I will not be able to mention any name to say that person will do the magic. But what I know for a fact is that 2028 is not going to be an easy election. It's going to be highly competitive. And the current government, has started on a very good note. If they sustain that, then 2028 is not going to be easy. So the NPP must reflect on all these things. And the aspect that is really important is they being very truthful to themselves to understand the issues at stake and make sure they select who indeed will be able to tell that story that will resonate with the Ghanaian people, so they forgive them and bring them back. Let me also add that it is important for the MPP to come back and come back strongly, so they compete effectively with the NDC, because we don't want to be a one-party state. And in political marketing, when there is competition, then you find political elements working effectively to ensure that they offer what is acceptable to the political market. So it is in their own interest to make sure they evaluate each and every aspirant and vote on a rational, choice, vote in terms of being rational in their decision, and not who can give them what, but who can do the job, who has the potential to convince the political market, so that when we go into 2028, they are sure that their candidate can compete effectively with whoever the NDC chooses to bring.
Look, let's take it one after the other. You made mention in political science, review and reflection. Are you sure the New Patriotic Party, after 2024 election, the abysmal loss, and considering the Professor Michael Quay report or review of what went on into the 2020, what went into their defeat into the 2024 election, do you think the New Patriotic Party have done good assessment, introspection, reviewed and reflected upon their loss? Are they not picking the flag bearer quite too early?
Well, I am not a member of the New Patriotic Party, and so these are internal matters, and it might be difficult for me to easily say that they have reflected on the report or they have critically reviewed the report and may be using it as a guide, the reason why they decided to pick the flag bearer early. What I want to say is that in political marketing, it is all about strategy. If their strategy is to select the flag bearer early enough so they are able to market the person effectively, or whoever they choose, they are able to, the person is able to put the market together, what we call internal marketing. That's their strategy, and I have no problem at all with it deciding to choose their flag bearer in January. It's probably at the core of their plan. They certainly may have done a strategy that says that let's get a flag bearer early and be able to do A, B, C. So I do not have a problem with that at all. What I expect is that they come to terms with the reality, so that informs who they select as a flag bearer. And I also expect that the Michael Quay's report would have been accessible by a number of them, so that they understand to a very large extent what contributed to their defeat. if they understand that and they review, they reflect, and they learn from it, that should guide who they present, going into 2028. So I don't know what they've done internally, internal issues. I'm not privy to internal issues, but I can only think that given that they realized that defeat was huge, and therefore they commissioned Professor Mike Okwe and others to research into, which is a good thing to do in political marketing. Anytime, whether you lose or you win, you need to reflect on the issue that gave you that outcome anyway. So that was a good move for them to get Professor Michael Okwe and all those amazing people to do the research as to whether they have read and understood the content of the report, and as to whether they are using that as a yardstick to choose their flag bearer early, that I cannot tell. But I expect that documents guide their steps.
Thank you very much, Doc. I still want us to stay on the New Patriotic Party, especially and talk about former Vice President, I must say, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Just about 2 years ago, Saturday on the 4th of November 2023, he won overwhelmingly in that primaries, securing some 61.47% of that primaries. He won with some 118,200 that's 118,210 votes, representing some 61.47. Kennedy Pond also came up. I think he had some 37.41%. Dr. Owusu Efriye, former Minister for Agriculture, pulled some 1,459 votes, representing 0.76%. And also Honorable Francis Adai-Nimo, former Member of Parliament of Mampong. He pulled some 781 votes, representing 0.41%. Why am I saying all of this? If you go into a primaries and some 61.47% delegate feel Dr. Bawumia is the right man for the job and they vote for him, Doctor, why do you think in 2 years the delegate will think otherwise? I really think they would really still go for Dr. Bawumia, as so many polls and surveys have suggested.
Well, that's their choice. If they think that is the person they still want to push forward, given the outcome of the 2024 election, that's their choice. And that should be fine with them. I only hope that they have reflected on all the issues and based on their own analysis is the best candidate. Well, another thing I want to add is that he won the last time, led them into the 2024 election. They lost miserably. A lot would have happened, a lot would have changed, and there could be tangible reason why others want to contest him. Is a democratic society.
Doctor, not to cut you, but people will say everyone goes into the election for the first time and loses. John Evans Atamels, Nanado, all of them went into the elections first time, sometimes second, and they lose.
Yeah, so I'm not saying that it's wrong for them to vote again for Dr. Bawumia. I am saying that if only they have reflected and analyzed the situation and the context in which they elected him the other time and what is prevailing now and what is likely to happen in 2028, and they are convinced is the best candidate, why not? It's up to them. That's their choice.
Is he the best candidate?
I cannot sit here and say he's the best or he's not the best. Everything must be informed by empirical evidence. Based on their research after the election, what did they find? I'm not privy to that document. What studies or research have they conducted again to explore what the general political market that will be voting in 2028 is saying? Okay, these are things that must underpin their choice. And so I wouldn't say that Dr. Baumia is not the best or is the best. I'm saying that it is in the interest of the MPP and all those that are going to vote to reflect on the issues and make sure they choose the best. I think that all those contesting or all those that have showed interest and are likely to pick the forms to contest think that they are capable and they are competent. It's up to the MPP's political market to understand the times and seasons, the dynamics in the political environment, and choose whom they want to represent them. So I have no problem at all if they decide to bring Dr. Baumia again or they change him to bring another candidate.
That's quite intriguing. Dr. Baumia's critics really say he never performed very well in the 2024 election. He did abysmally, and that's why other people are coming up to contest him. Substantially, he could have gone into this 2026 flag-bearer-ship race unopposed and become like John Dramani Mahama, who won over 95% when he was contested. I think so. Basically, this gentleman pulled out. The former finance minister, I've forgotten his name. He pulled out from that race, so he got over 95% in that presidential race for the NDC.
You mean Dr. Dufour?
Dr. Dufour, thank you very much. Dr. Dufour pulled out. If Dr. Baumia had about 5 people to contest him in 2023 and had 61.47%, and in 2024, ahead of in 2025, ahead of the 2026 election, he is still having about 4 people readying themselves to contest him. It tells a lot about him, doesn't it?
But we are in a democratic society, so we cannot say that, well, because he won the last elections to lead the MPP. I mean, others that are competent and others that feel that they can do their job well should not put themselves up. We are in a democratic society, and so anybody that thinks that is a core party member, is capable, is competent, has a right to contest him. At the end of the day, it's elections. When the majority of MPPs political market decide that we still want Baumia, that is it. That is the beauty of democracy. So I have no problem at all. Well, somebody will say that if Dr. Baumia was the best, why are others contesting? He could be the best and others will still contest him, and it could be that is not the best. That is why others are contesting him. My view will be that it's a democratic society, and so everybody has the right to contest any elections. If the MPP leadership and all the members that have the qualification to vote thinks that Baumia is the best among their lot, they will demonstrate that by voting for him. And so I will not support those who say that they should allow Dr. Baumia to go unopposed. No, if he's the best, the people will still select him. And we should not deny others that are capable and competent or have interest or think that can do the job better from contesting him. So, I mean, it's a democratic society, and those rules must apply.
Dr. Baumia rose to fame when the 2012 election was took to the Supreme Court, and he mounted the witness box. And one of the key things he mentioned out of about 8 months of litigation in court at the Supreme Court is Dr. Pink Sheet. And essentially, he's been behind the scene for 8 years or more in opposition, come to power with Nanado as president for 8 years, and back to opposition. Many people think he would be the right person. Nonetheless, I would want us to leave Dr. Baumia for a moment and go to Kennedy Akompre in Japan. So many people talk about how Kennedy Japan initiated or had the concept or the mindset of contesting into this MPP flag-bearer-ship race, because at a point we saw that it's out of anger he decided to just contest, because he feels some people were being frustrated and were kind of denied to contest Dr. Bawumia, etc. So that even came up in his campaign. Nanado, Dr. Bawumia Memo showdown, and so many other stuff. So we saw his contestation as out of grievances and so many things. But when he went into it, Dr. Manyo, he pulled over 30% of voters, and this is his second time. Don't you think Kennedy Japan can make some surprises?
Of course he can, because if you look at the votes that he earned at that time, it means that he's popular within the party. And so he can. And I will not be surprised whether he emerges as the winner or not. I will not be surprised regardless of the outcome. Anybody at all within the group can who surprises, because it's all about strategy, and it's all about really communicating effectively with the political market. And in this case, it's going to be MPPs, because it's only MPP members that are going to vote. It's not the general Ghanaian populace. So I keep saying MPP's political market, those that have the power to vote. It can pull surprises, why not? Then anybody within the group can. These people would need to understand what has happened to the MPP, and based on what they want to do to the MPP, who they want to lead to fill all their gaps, to bring all the people together so they become a formidable party as they've been in time past. They can pick and choose who they think will help them achieve this objective, because they need that to go into 2028 election. Okay. But it all boils down to the core MPP members who are going to vote to elect the flag bearer. Their understanding of the issues, how they see things, where they want to send their party, who they want to lead them going into 2028. And I believe that these are people that would have really paid particular attention to these issues, and so we want to make the right choice. If they decide that upon reflection, Kennedy Japan, should be the one that deserve their vote, why not? So for me, I will not be surprised if any of those contestants emerges as a winner, or they still retain Dr. Bawumia. They are internal party members. They have their own plan, they have their own strategy, and they know how they want to go into the 2028 election. My caution will be that they need to understand that almost every election in Ghana has been fiercely contested, and 2028 will not be an exception. Given that they've already had 8 years, given the outcome of the last election, they need to understand that 2028 is going to be a very, very, very fiercely contested election. And so they must put forward a candidate that can be described as the best foot forward.
That's quite intriguing. I'm tempted to ask you who is that candidate in your estimation, but I'll hold on. Doc, I want to move our discussion to the by-election of Etiwa, and that which happened at Ablekuma North, and the one which, by way of the tragedy that hit the country within last week, we will be having at Tamale Central, of which the MPP have basically pulled out of it. I want to take your take on. There's even a petition written to the Electoral Commission of the Republic requesting that 2nd September bar election at Etiwa be postponed. I would want to take your take on all of that. But first, let's begin with the Tamale Central by-election, where the NPP, I don't know reasons behind it. They say out of respect and in whatever for Mutala, who passed on that helicopter crash. What do you make of the NPP's decision, which they even called the NDC to also pull out from the Tiwa by-election?
Okay, so, you know, in the political space, every action must be strategic and you must be tactical about your moves. If NPP says that out of respect, they are not going to contest Tamale Central, I tell you what, it's part of their plan, it's part of their strategy. Behind the scenes, they know what they are planning. Behind the scenes, they know what they seek to benefit if they decide not to contest. And so it might be part of their strategy. If they claim they want to show respect to Honorable Mutala by not contesting, yeah, they have the right not to. I don't know if NDC has decided that because of this action, they are also not going to contest.
Actually, the chairman of the NDC, Johnson Esiedun Kesia, thanked them, but he told them for the Etiwa they are coming.
Yeah. So that is it. I mean, it's all about your strategy. So if they think it's in their interest not to contest, that is fine. They know why they are not contesting, and NDC also knows why they will not respond in that direction, but to go and contest them in is it a Tiwa?
Etiwa, yes, please.
Yeah, to contest them. So it's fine. Like I said, you see, political market is all about strategies and tactics. And it's all behind the scenes. Behind the scenes, you know the calculations you've made and you know what this political behavior will earn you, right? And so if they said they are not going to contest, it's fine for them not to. But it doesn't mean NDC will do the same. They can choose to do the same or can choose to contest them any day, anywhere. But I'm saying that every political behavior has its own effects. It may help you to deepen bonds with the political market, or you may fall apart. It may consolidate your gains or not. So if that is their strategy, why not? They are at liberty to implement that, which is not to contest. Yeah.
Right. Some critics also say of MPP really says they were really left with nothing because that seat is really a safe seat for NDC. So seeing defeat staring at you, you just have to withdraw. There's no end in sight. Just withdrawing will be the right thing. As political marketers, strategies.
In political marketing, we have what? Targeting, using your resources at areas where you think you make the most gain. So if they think, for example, that there is no way they are going to win, why should they spend their resources to go and campaign when they know for a fact they are not going to win? So then, of course, like I said, it's part of their strategy. They may not come to tell you that we know we will not win, so we will not contest. But in a very nice way to say that, well, out of respect, we are not going to contest. If their strategy or their research tells them that, listen, you are not going to win, why should they waste their limited resources on going to contest at an area where they know for a fact? Okay, I'm saying that maybe they have intelligence that tells them that you will not win, okay? And so if they decide to rely on that and say that we will not contest, well, it's a strategy so that they save the resources they have and use it at areas where they'll get the best out of it. So that is it.
I was trying to pull the numbers for you so we can also have an idea the performance of the New Patriotic Party as compared to the National Democratic Congress at the Tamale Central. I don't have it now, but I'm sure as the conversation goes.
even regardless of the numbers and the outcome, when they were going to have the Ablekuma North election, I granted an interview to a certain media house, and I said, it'll come to me as a surprise if the people voted for the NPP, because everybody, want to associate with the government, okay? The party that is in government, so that chances are that some of their needs will be met. And so, given that we knew that the NDC had already won, it will be difficult for those people to say that we are still going to vote for the NPP, because they know that they are going to vote for a woman, though competent, but is in opposition. And I don't know how she'll be able to lobby effectively for a lot of things to happen in Ablekuma. And so when you take the Tamale, regardless of the outcome of the 2024, even if the NPP's candidate was really close, given what has happened to the sitting MP, given that NDC is in government, it will come to me as a surprise if the NPP's candidate, if NPP decide to put forward a candidate, it will come to me as a surprise if that candidate wins the election, to be honest with you. Because NDC is in government, it was an NDC candidate that won. The reason why we're going into by-election is really a tragic accident that has hurt everybody, left everybody's heart broken. And so I'm not sure that an NPP can easily win Tamale Central. So I think it's the best strategy for them to say that, listen, we're not going to spend resources at all in Tamale Central. We would rather want to refocus those resources into, let's say, the Etiwa that the NDC says they will contest, or all the internal things that are happening. They may want to use the resources there. So it's regardless of the outcome of the 2024 election, I'll be surprised if anybody that contests on NPP's ticket really wins. But you see, the political market can be very complex, complicated behavior. So, well, anything at all could happen, but it will come to me as a surprise if NPP's candidate wins at Tamale Central.
I think I've forgotten the name of the constituency where Jachi Kwesen won. By then, the NDC, they were in opposition. So I'm not sure you were suggesting...
I think it was Ascent Central or so. Yes. It was Ascent North. Yes. Yeah. I think Ascent North. Honorable Jachi Kwesen.
Jachi Kwesen won it, even though...
NDC was in opposition at the time, right. And Jachi, yes. And so then it should not be surprised if NPP's candidate wins at Tamale Central. I think that's the argument you're putting forward, right?
Yes.
But you see, yes, that's why I ended by saying that the political market is very complex, complicated, and anything at all could happen. But in the case of Jachi Kwesen, okay, I have an article on that, online on that the argument was that, he was the sitting MP. And a lot was happening at the time. He walking in and out of court and all that. Okay. And people in the constituency have said that he's done a lot for them. And they knew that he was an opposition member of parliament. So there was little that he could do. But he was the sitting MP. And given the issues at stake, one will feel that it's just a way of taking him out. And so people can easily, bond with him on that level, just being sympathetic about the issues and decide to retain him because he was the sitting MP. Well, others could have said that we want to vote for somebody whose party is in government to see if we'll get something in our constituency. So it could be tricky. It could be tricky, but largely you may want to vote for the person that can really bring you a lot in your constituency. But once again, I repeat myself by saying that the market can be really complicated.
So just by way of education, in December 2024, the MP for Tamale Central, won that ticket with 52,263 votes, whilst the opponent had some 16.
Yeah. Yeah. So I said
52,000.
earlier, regardless of the outcome, it will be difficult. So, and people have said that that's a very strong hold of the NDC, isn't it? So one is a stronghold, as they call it, to the what has happened. I mean, what has led us to going into a by-election is one that is really, really troubling. And so I don't see how people can easily say that they will vote against him. It's not as if he did something bad that, so it will be difficult. So I think NDC are MPP, sorry, are being very smart here. I think they are being very smart.
All right, let's see. And obviously, from the analysis you've made this evening, then it's so obvious that the people of Etiwa should be voting for NDC, because NDC is still in power, and like they did at Ablekuma North. Is that not true?
I wouldn't say it's obvious they should vote for NDC, to be honest. It is in their interest to vote for a candidate that has his or her party in government. Is in their interest. But once again, the reason why we are going into that by-election is something that is quite painful. And so people can reflect and say that, well, though would love to vote for somebody whose party is in government so that we get him to lobby to get us something. There are people that also feel that if he didn't pass away, and may he so rest in peace, he was still going to be our MP anyway. So if he's not there, we still want to retain him. So I'll keep on saying the political market is not easily predictable. There are so many reasons why people will vote. It is expected that people will want to vote in ways where they get their needs are met in their constituency. But sometimes it is not also the sole reason why somebody would decide to vote. The best would have been to vote for somebody that has his party in government. But like I'm saying, there are several reasons why somebody will go and vote. And so they can choose to say that if he didn't pass away, we're still going to have an MPP person representing us. And if it's happened in ways where we need to re-elect somebody, we still want to, show him that we genuinely wanted the MPP to represent us. And so we want to vote for NPP's candidate. And others could say that, well, he's gone. It's new group of people coming. And so let's consider what we stand to benefit and vote for. So it's not a straightforward thing, and it could be anything. Yeah.
That's quite interesting. I wanted to take you into reasons behind why the New Patriotic Party did acclamation and picked one King Solomon. I think some Owusu Solomon. So, but the NDC went into primaries, and amazingly, the lawyer for the 2024 candidate, that election is being disputed in court. So the lawyer, who is also the general secretary for the NDC in Etiwa, won the primaries. What do you make of this?
It's all about choice. It's all about campaign. It's all about political marketing. How much you are able to convince the people that you represent them well. Because we've not heard anything that he went to they stole ballots or something. I mean, the outcome shows that people went to vote and he emerged as a winner, isn't it? So it's all about what you did, how you marketed yourself, your effective communication, your ability to convince those who are voting that, listen, I'll best represent you. And he won. I'll keep saying it's a democratic society. Everybody who thinks is capable and competent should compete effectively. When you get the mandate, you've gotten it. If you lose, you've lost, and that is it. It doesn't surprise me. I mean, with what I've seen, what I've read, the market could be really tricky. It's all about strategy. It's all about political marketing, all about positioning or pitching yourself well and convincing the market that they are best. I mean, they'll get the best when they are with you. So that is it. Until we hear that something really bad happened, it's the market that have decided that they want him to represent them. And I think that should be respected.
Dr. Joyce Manyo, political marketing lecturer and also lecturer at UNIMAG, would want to thank you. But before you take leave of us, I have some two subjects to talk to you about. There is a request to the Electoral Commission to postpone the Tiwa by-election. The date for it is 2nd of September. And this Election Watch Ghana's request to the Electoral Commission, the petition to the Electoral Commission, indicates that the NDC, one of the main contenders or parties in this very election, is bereaved, and they are mourning, and they are not able to campaign on the basis of fair and smooth level playing field. Why don't you postpone it, move it a little bit ahead for them to finish this bereavement and this mourning and all of this, and then come back to campaign so we can have a smooth and a good level playing field for all of them. Please, what do you make of this request for postponement?
So straight away, the Electoral Commission has the power to review this letter, and based on what the rules and regulations are, they will take the right decision. And so it's up to the Electoral Commission to really think about it and what the law says, what the rules are, and what it means if they decide to go ahead with the date or they decide to postpone it. It's within their mandate to do that. So if per the rules and regulations that should be allowed, I think they know what to do. If it should not be allowed to, it's fine. So it's a request, but it's the Electoral Commission that has the power to either grant or not. So I think
Dr. Manyo, if you were leading the Electoral Commission as commissioner, would you have done it?
It depends on what the rules and regulations are. It's not about my personal interest. It's not about what I think or how I feel. It's about the rules and regulations. And so that is what would apply.
Okay. Please, let's move on. I would want you to watch this video. It happened at Amansea, and these are gun-wielding police officers who are being met with residents of Amansea, armed with stones and things like that, throwing it against this arm-wielding police officers, all in the fight of galamsey. When we return from watching this video, I would want to know from you, why are politicians unable to fight the menace of galamsey? Is it because they lack political will, or I don't know. You are a political strategist. Let me have understanding into all of this. Why politicians? 8 years of Nanda, the country got quite murkier in galamsey mining, and now we are seeing how it is becoming with John Dramani Mahama. Please watch this. Okay, my producer tells me it will be ready very shortly. But let me pick your opinion even ahead of that video. Like I narrated, these are gun-wielding police officers sent on the field by the IGP in a renewed effort to fight galamsey. And these guys are there, residents of Amansea. They are there in Ashanti region. They tell you in clear audio, and all of that. Do you think we have that political will, and why are politicians not able to solve this galamsey menace?
So if I look at what happened or what has happened under successive governments in terms of dealing with galamsey, it tells me one thing: it's a really complicated matter. And a lot of researchers, a lot of people have come out to say that those that are behind this galamsey thing are top politicians and other, let me say, influential people in society. So it's not about those boys and girls we see when they go there, but behind them are influential people. And
Look, I want
so,
you to hold on at that influential people. I would come back so we'll pick it up from there. Please, let's watch this video. It's ready now. Quite intriguing. Dr. Manyo, this is the video.
yeah, it's a very worrying situation. It's a very worrying situation. Like I said, dealing with galamsey is a complex issue because there are some who are saying that it's as a result of unemployment. There are some that are saying that it's also because influential people and top politicians are all involved. And like I said, based on what has happened under successive government, it tells you that the fight against galamsey is not a straightforward and a simple one. It's quite complicated. But it's worrying because we all know the effects of galamsey. Look at our water bodies now. Look at our environments now. Everybody is at risk. Recently, there was a research by Legon where they went to the market to just random sample some veggies to come and test, and they found heavy metals in those. And it's the same market we all go. We buy the same vegetables. We buy the same products from the market. And they just went to pick them to test and they saw heavy metals, which means we are all at risk. Okay, we drink the same water. We go to the same market and buy the same vegetables. And if research is showing that it contains heavy metals, what does it mean? We are all at risk. So it's something that we really need to deal with because it's affecting everybody. We are all at risk. But I'll say, and I repeat myself, it's not a straightforward thing because studies, reports, civil society organizations that have worked extensively in that field have said that it's because we have very, very top politicians and influential people behind the scenes sponsoring these people to do the galamsey. And also because some of these people are financiers of political parties. And so when they come into government, then it makes it difficult for them to just say they are dealing with them as we as citizens wish they would do. So to be honest, the matter is a very complex one, but we only hope that the government will do all that it can to deal with it because, I mean, we are all at risk. We are all at risk.
Dr. Manyo, you know the New Patriotic Party might have suffered that great loss because of galamsey, because the opposition NDC used it as a campaign tool against Nanado and Bawumia. because they were in government and they failed to curb the menace of galamsey. After 8 months in power, are you satisfied with what you've seen by way of galamsey fight?
If you are asking for my personal opinion, as in me being satisfied, I'll only be satisfied when galamsey has been stopped and we have very clean and clear water bodies and our forests have been restored. It is at that point that personally I'll be satisfied with any government. Until we get there, whether NDC and PP, I certainly am not satisfied because we are all at risk. Look at the water bodies. There are some rivers that when I was small, anytime I'm going to the village, you can clearly see this. You can drink from it, and now we are unable to do that. We are being told that when we go to the markets, the veggies and the fruits we buy contain heavy metals. I'll only be satisfied when that has been dealt with. So 8 months, I wouldn't say the government has not done anything, but my expectations has not been met. And like you rightly said, it's one of the things that they used to campaign, and we are watching.
Doc, we'll leave it here. I do not know if you have some few words to share with us with respect to the funeral and burial service done today for the 8 people who lost their lives. If you have some few comments to share with us, please go ahead.
Well, it's been a very I should say sorrowful day for me, and these are very trying moments for us as Ghanaians, for the president, and for the families of those that are born. I only pray that God will really heal our hearts and will take care of them, and their souls will be kept by the Lord. We pray that whatever the issues were, if it's something that could have been prevented, we learn from it and we make sure that it doesn't repeat itself. If it was as a result of the fact that it's something that was meant to be, it's all in the hands of the Lord. So I pray that God will take care of the families and heal our land.
Thank you very much. And that there is Dr. Joyce Manyo, lecturer at UNIMAC and also political marketing expert. Doc, we appreciate your time and may God bless you so much.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so this Pulse of the Week with yours truly, Kofi Asante Mensah. As we wrap up the show for today, my producer and I will be sharing with you some memories that occasioned today, Friday, 15th of August, as part of the burial and the funeral service of the late Dr. Omane Boama, Dr. Muntala, and 6 others. So they buried 2 of them, I think, on Monday, and we were left with 6. So the remaining 6 were buried. Yes, they did 2, I think, on Monday or so, and today they have done 6. So 8 of them, but the state funeral. But I'm happy with John Dramani Mahama's announcement of that posthumous post given to the military officers and the flying officers. I do not have all the time I would have gone through with you, but you can read more on nsgnews.com, and you have all the information over there. And the announcement of a fund to take care of all the children of these 8 gallant heroes. All the children. So there is an announcement, and there's a fund created, and the seed money given already, and I'm very happy about that. And let me say a very big kudos to the organizers, the committee that organized this state funeral. It was very nice. We can't say a funeral was looking good, but it was really, really good. Stan Dogbe, the Deputy Chief of Staff, and also the Chief of Staff himself, Julius Debra. You did very well. And we may not know all of you, your names, those who are part of the funeral committee for this very state funeral as pursued today. But God bless all of you. We pray that this never happens. On behalf of my producer and my executive producers, we say God be with us all.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, kindly be seated. Your Excellency, Nana Jane Opoku Ajiman, Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Your Excellency, Lordina Dramani Mahama, Your Excellency, Jeremiah Kwan Kung, Vice President of the Republic of Liberia, Your Excellencies, former Presidents and Vice Presidents of the Republic of Ghana, the Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament, His Lordship, the Acting Chief Justice, the Chief of Staff and senior government officials, senior service and security chiefs, members of the diplomatic corps, our bereaved families, fellow mourners, distinguished guests, my dear countrymen and women. Today's events conclude the state funeral for the eight officers and personnel who lost their lives in the tragic helicopter crash of 6th August 2025. Though I'm sure that individually and collectively, our nation will continue to mourn as we find ways to hold tightly the memories of these men and to honor their legacies. There is no making sense of what happened. Despite whatever technical reasons or official explanations an investigation will yield, a loss of this magnitude and in this manner will never make sense to the grieving heart. What we can do, each of us in our own way, as we try to come to terms with this tragic loss, is to move in the direction of peace within our communities and families, having been reminded of how fragile life can be. Also, we can embrace the vision we shared with our fallen brothers for a stronger and more prosperous homeland. What we can do together as a nation is make sure that the lives of those who remain, specifically the children of our 8 brothers, do not become the collateral damage of this tragedy. Grief can sometimes leave us feeling helpless and disempowered, but we're far from that. So it is with all this in mind that I would like today to announce the government's decisions to honor the service of these individuals and secure the futures of those they left behind. I humbly request the spirit of compassion that is the hallmark of our nation for these bereaved families. Promotions in our armed forces are never given lightly, and posthumous promotions are the highest mark of respect for duty performed even unto death. Accordingly, I have approved the following. Squadron Leader Peter Bafemi Anala is promoted to the rank of Wing Commander. Flying Officer Manan Chum Ampedu is promoted to the rank of Flight Lieutenant. Sergeant Ernest Mensah is promoted to the rank of Flight Sergeant. These are not just symbolic gestures. They represent the rightful place these officers have earned in our Republic's roll of honor, and the benefits due to their families will be reflected in these new ranks. The Chief of the Defense Staff will oversee the ceremonial presentation of the posthumous promotion insignias to their families. Our other colleagues who were civilians will be posthumously recognized at the next National Honors Ceremony. The next decision that the government has made is for the creation of a Children's Support Fund for the children of the victims of the 6th August helicopter crash. The purpose of this fund is clear. It is to ensure that the children left behind will never be deprived of the opportunities, the care, and the security that their parents worked so hard to provide for them. We Ghanaians live in a culture that upholds collective responsibility, especially where community and family are concerned. Think about it. How often do we meet one another and ask about their child, and in so doing, claim that child as ours? It is common to hear us say, "How is my daughter?" or "How is our small boy?" We take on the responsibility of raising the children of our relatives who are not as financially capable as us, or paying the school fees of a domestic worker's child. Sometimes we even pay for the medical cost of children who are complete strangers to us. And that is what Dr. Omani Boama did when he pledged to pay for surgery for Seto, a physically disabled 9-year-old boy, so that he would no longer be reliant on the wheelchair that he had been using to get around. After fully paying for the surgery, Omani could have continued with his own affairs and not giving another thought to the boy or his situation. Because Omani had a full life with a demanding job, a wife and 3 children of his own to look after. Yet somehow, even with all those constraints on his time, Dr. Omani Boama set aside a few quiet moments and he put pen to paper. And he wrote a poem for Seto before his surgery, because he knew that the little boy would most surely be afraid. And in his poem for Seto, Omani wrote, and I quote that poem, he said, "You're not alone. You've got me, friends who care, family and love, always there to share." The Children's Support Fund for the children of the victims of the 6th August helicopter crash, as it has officially been named, will cover education from primary school through to tertiary or technical training, healthcare, including medical insurance and specialized care where required, and welfare support, clothing, shelter, and essential living expenses. I wish to express my thanks to the Stanbic Bank that has opened an account with an initial contribution of 500,000 Ghana cedis. Government will make an immediate seed contribution to this fund and will operationalize and publish a detailed framework of the Children's Support Fund within the next 30 days. My office will ensure that the Children's Support Fund is sustained for the long term with annual public reporting on how it has been used. Furthermore, we'll create channels for contributions from our citizens, from corporate organizations, professional associations, and our international partners. Imagine the impact it will have on each of these children who have been left behind by the death of their parent, to be told by each of the adult citizens of this nation through our contributions, just like Omani told Seto, that you're not alone, you've got me, always there to share. Let us also leave our 8 comrades today with a promise that their children will not be alone, and that they've got us and will always be there to share. We will probably walk with them into their future. Before I conclude, on behalf of the government and people of Ghana, I wish to express our deepest gratitude to the bereaved families. I thank you for your courage and your dignity in the face of this unimaginable loss. To the Ghana Armed Forces and Emergency Services, I thank you for your swift and professional response to this accident. To our religious leaders and our traditional authorities, to our members of the diplomatic corps, civil society, and citizens who are the very pillars of this nation, I say thank you for praying with us, for comforting the families, and for offering every form of support to ensure that we made it through the darkest days of this tragedy. To the heads of state from around the world, including Africa and West Africa, who either visited or gave me personal calls or sent messages of condolence and support on behalf of their people, we extend our deepest gratitude. It is this solidarity that affirms the strength of our national and international spirit. In this final farewell, I would also like again to thank the 8 officers and personnel, our comrades, our friends, our brothers, for the love, dedication, and service that they gave to this country. I pray that this funeral will bring closure to a grieving nation, and that a new dawn will break in which we can look forward with pride as Ghanaians to a prosperous nation. And that today we pray that this will be the beginning as the Almighty God heals our land. I thank you. I thank you. You will always be in our hearts. You will always be remembered, and we will always revere your memory. May God continue to bless our homeland, Ghana, and make our nation great and strong. I thank you.
This has been Pulse of the Week. We'll meet again. You have a blessed evening.